I cut back on my work hours to handle all the household chores and childcare for my wife. My wife is generally a wonderful person, but lately she has formed a friendship with a woman I think is a negative influence on her. It feels like a case of laying down with dogs and getting up with fleas. I never mentioned her childish behavior or her extreme misandry because honestly, it doesn't impact me. A few months ago, my wife started pushing me to help out more at home. We have already divided the chores and childcare responsibilities. She definitely has a bigger cut than I do since she is a psalm, but I handle most of the cooking, both breakfasts and dinners. She is in charge of lunch for herself and the boys. I take out the garbage, do laundry, and deep clean the bathrooms weekly. I help with the boys' homework and things like that. She says I'm not doing enough and that I need to help more around the house. I asked her what she expected from me. It feels like all the chores and taking care of the kids are my responsibility, and for months it hasn't changed. She mentioned the D word multiple times during the conversation, which seemed manipulative. Things escalated one night while we were out with friends. She started saying that I never helped out and that I treat her like a house slave. Hearing that made me really angry. This is where I might be in the wrong. I didn't speak up that night, but the following day, I requested my boss for reduced hours for a while because of stress. I ended up taking control of everything in the house. I made breakfast and packed lunch for the kids before taking them to school. I cleaned the entire house and did all the dishes twice. My wife was extremely happy and told her friend that she had finally gotten me trained. She didn't do anything for about a month. She started asking why we didn't go on dates anymore and said she wanted to get her nails done since they were growing out. I told her I had to remove that from our budget to keep everything else affordable. I suggested we could have a movie night at home and I could paint her nails. She wasn't happy with that idea. I asked her if she wanted to get a part-time job to pay for some extras. It felt like I was asking her to join a cult. She asked if I could pick up more shifts at work to cover her expenses and used the phrase, "be a man," which I found quite insulting. I asked her if she would be okay with splitting the chores again. That's when she started to realize that the two were connected. She yelled at me, calling me a manipulative jerk for what I did, and even said it was financially wrong. I held my ground for a bit, but now I'm starting to doubt my actions because I feel like what I did was a bit sneaky. So, Ida, Update 1. How do I explain to my sons, ages 8 and 10, that their mother is going to rehab? This is a first for me. I used to struggle with addiction, but I didn't have kids at that time. Check my previous post for more details. Recently, my wife and I had a big argument. She confessed to using 2 substances for several months. Now she has agreed to go to rehab, and we are in the process of arranging it. How do I talk to them about this without them being judgmental or angry at their mother? Am I a nurse getting stuck in the same mindset I'm in? I don't want to deceive them, which is what my wife wants, but I can't find a way that won't hurt them or damage their respect for their mother. I feel lost right now, and I haven't slept much since this started. I welcome any advice you have. Thanks ahead of time. Update 2. I raised my voice at my wife. Check my profile for more info. I was driving my wife to rehab, and she was yelling at me the whole way. She couldn't believe I was humiliating her, talking about the boys, and telling her to message her dealer/friend that they wouldn't be hanging out or using anymore. She said she didn't want to go and called me a controlling monster. She claimed I was insane for threatening divorce and custody of the boys. I just took it all in until I couldn't anymore. I yelled at her. I yelled at the woman I met, saying she would rather die than have a pill-head junkie near her sons. I told her she disgusted me and that I was seriously thinking about leaving her, not because of the addiction, but because of her behavior. It felt like she was bringing drugs into our home, around me, a former addict, and around our boys. I was starting to hate her for this. She was turning into exactly what she always complained about her mother being. I told her she was lucky. I noticed it before it affected her sons. It's hard to admit, but seeing it sink and realizing how far she had fallen was oddly satisfying. Seeing her understand that her actions have consequences was satisfying. She yelled a few more times, calling me an abusive jerk or something like that, but she was still crying, so it felt like her heart wasn't really in it. I'm going to talk to a lawyer. I don't want a divorce, but I'm not sure how healthy our relationship can be after this. I know yelling was wrong, but I don't feel bad about it. That makes me think maybe I shouldn't stay married for both our sakes. I'm at a loss for what to do, and I'm really angry that she blew up every part of our life. Update 3. She was. Infidelity. This is a vent post. I usually don't express myself like this, but I need to get this negativity out of my head before it goes any further. She was cheating. The friend involved in drug dealing sent me videos of her dancing and getting close with a guy who looks pretty rough. I feel completely shattered. The kids are with my mom for a few days, and I'm off work next week. I am completely finished. I have never felt this level of anger before. She was really full of herself sending it. Just so you know, you can be replaced by her. The free ride ends now. I hope she can get Medicaid for her Suboxone. That would be great. I'm finished. I saved the video right away, and I'm planning to see a lawyer as soon as possible. I can't share this with anyone yet because I want to handle it properly. I'm really grateful my parents pushed for a prenup, especially with that cheating clause I thought was extreme back then. I've never experienced being cheated on, and it's driving me crazy. I honestly never expected her to be such a terrible person. This is too much for me. I can't manage this physically. I can't keep food down, and I had a drink for the first time in more than 10 years last night. Then I woke up and had to pour the rest down the drain because I could feel myself starting to spiral. My kids don't need both parents in rehab right now. I am really close to losing my mind. Believe what you want, but please stop sending me private messages about taking down my posts or telling me that sharing my personal relationship with my wife is wrong. Just let me be. This won't work. This is the only place I can share this stuff. Here's the 4th update. My soon-to-be ex-wife is in the hospital after trying to take her own life, and I feel like a terrible person. I am in the process of filing for divorce while she is in rehab. It's not just about the cheating, it's everything else that has happened, and I am struggling too. Falling back into my addiction because of the stress, I found it hard to think about her at all. There's no way a healthy relationship can thrive in that kind of mindset. I really didn't want to be in a room with her again for mediation or counseling. The last time we were alone, I raised my voice, and I thought she deserved it then. I realize now that what I did was wrong and could be seen as abusive. Another reason I shouldn't be with her. I moved all her stuff to the guest room, except for the pills I found hidden in her bedside table. I snapped photos of them in their hiding place, and then got rid of them. I took her off my bank account and credit cards too. I talked to my kids, explaining the situation without putting their mother down as much as I could. They seem to get that I have no plans to leave them, and whether by blood or not, they are my sons. She came home, and the boys were away at camp, a birthday gift from my mom. She didn't say much. I was on the ground from the moment I picked her up at the facility until we got home. When we got home, I took her to the guest room quietly, and she reacted poorly, crying before she could even step inside. Over the next few weeks, I let her adjust. I kept my feelings to myself, but I could tell she sensed something was off. I wanted to be fair and give her time to settle in before bringing anything up, as that was something I really disliked when I left rehab. Everything was happening so quickly, I couldn't catch my breath. I asked her to sit on the couch and told her that I don't think I can stay married to her. I want a divorce. I should have realized her reaction was off. She didn't say a word, just nodded and cried softly as I spoke. I tried to explain that I never meant to hurt her, but I couldn't stay married to her. I suggested that we both focus on being the best parents we could be. I explained that I wasn't planning to kick her out. I mentioned that our prenup would make the divorce straightforward. I encouraged her to start looking for a job, and once she finds one, I would assist her in finding an apartment. She got up and went to her room. I figured she was overwhelmed, so I let her be. When dinner time came, she still hadn't come out, and I was unsure if I should leave her alone or check on her. I finally went up to the door and asked if she wanted something to eat. To sum it up, she brought pills into my house or had some hidden stash I didn't know about. She overdosed and was unresponsive for several minutes in the ambulance. Now, she's in a medically induced coma because the doctors are uncertain about the extent of the brain damage. I feel terrible, like I'm the worst person ever. I should have kept quiet, dealt with it, and just stayed silent. I feel responsible for this, and it really hurts. My feelings for her have changed, but I still feel deep sympathy for what she's gone through. It's weighing on me. I haven't told my sons yet, and I'm thinking about waiting until they return from camp. I want them to have some time without this added stress. I apologize for the grammar and everything. I just don't have the energy to edit this, but I needed to share it.